Hey everyone, it's Alexander Robinson. Welcome to the channel, and this is my review for If, for the latest movie directed by John Krasinski. This movie follows a young girl whose father is about to go into heart surgery, and this is a difficult time for her because before the events of this movie, she lost her own mother. So in the process of waiting for what exactly is going to come out of the surgery, she starts seeing a bunch of imaginary creatures called Ifs, or short for imaginary friends. She's not sure how or why this is happening, but she soon encounters Ryan Reynolds, and she basically learns the whole world on Ifs and what their purpose in life is. Every time I saw the trailer for this movie, I thought to myself, what is this? Because it's directed by John Krasinski, who did a great job with Quiet Place and Quiet Place Part 2, but this is such a drastically different movie than what he did with the Quiet Place films, and it looked basically like a live-action Pixar film. I had no idea what to make of this movie, plus the mixed word of mouth from people who had seen the movie early didn't help in the slightest, so I had no idea what to expect going into this or what exactly this movie was about, but I walked out of it thinking, okay, either I saw a different movie than the people giving it negative reviews, or there's just a lot of cynicism out there, because If is good, better than you think it would be. One of the most reassuring things about watching this movie and knowing that John Krasinski was the director is that he can do a wide range of stuff. I mean, acting-wise, he's proven that already, but in terms of a director, he made two really great horror movies, and a really entertaining and imaginative family movie. All the creatures in If are really well designed, and I like how they're very distinctive from one another. There's obviously the giant grimace-looking creature, and it's so similar to the Grimace, I'm surprised that McDonald's hasn't filed a lawsuit or anything. The name is Blue, and he's voiced by Steve Carell. He basically looks like a straight-up Pixar character. You know, outside of looking like the Grimace, he looks like something that belongs in a Pixar movie. And then you have Blossom, voiced by Phoebe Waller-Bridge, who looks like a character from way back in Disney's early animation days, like back in the 1920s or 30s. All the other Ifs in this movie are voiced by really recognizable people like Bradley Cooper, Matt Damon, George Clooney, Jon Stewart, Louis Gossett Jr., who recently passed away. And it's insane how many A-list actors they got to voice these characters, and how unique and distinctive all of these designs are from one another. There's clearly a lot of imagination put into this aspect of the movie, but the story itself mostly counts. I'll talk about why I said mostly later on. Cailey Fleming plays the main character of the movie, and what she's going through in the film, it's interesting because she's going through a very tough spot in her personal life involving her father, and there are points in the movie where she just feels mature to the point where she's kind of tired of her dad's shenanigans, especially considering that it's a very serious time, but also she's very quick to accepting the ifs and believing that, oh yeah, what I'm seeing is actually real. She does a good job at balancing all of these personalities, playing a kid that is trying to act more mature, but really at the end of the day is still a kid. As for Ryan Reynolds, I actually really like that he's not playing Deadpool all over again, because after Deadpool was a huge hit, it seems like that was mostly what Ryan Reynolds was doing, not to the same extent, but basically playing that character that every line he says is like a joke, and he just has to talk constantly. That's not really the case here in this movie. Ryan Reynolds' performance here is a little more serious, a little more somber, and he doesn't really try to be funny at every turn, so I appreciate that. Michael Giacchino's score is also really good. With the way the score sounds, it reminds me of so many of those comedy scores that you heard back in the 1990s, movies like Liar Liar or Bruce Almighty. But it still sounds like Michael Giacchino's doing it, so it's not like he's aping another score because his signature is still very much there. There's a lot that I really like about this movie, and it just kept getting better for me as it went along. So why do so many people seem to not like the movie so much? I mean, I can only speak for myself, but I feel like in the middle of the movie, it does start to lose a bit of focus. There is a subplot involving another kid that, while cute and it has a fun payoff, doesn't really lend to a whole lot in this movie. After a while, you just kind of forget about the father character, and you kind of lose the whole point of what exactly is going on with the movie. So in a technical, film critic, analytic aspect, I kind of get why this movie's getting mixed reviews, but by the time we got to the end of the movie, all the problems that I have really seemed to fade away from me, because it left me feeling very emotional and very happy at the end of the day. And for me, my whole mentality is, how do I feel about the movie walking out of it? And considering the movie nearly got me the way so many Pixar movies tend to get me, I felt good, and that's my rating. It's good, but it's not great. It can be very predictable. You can see plot points coming a mile away, and even then, concept-wise, while it is inventive, it's not original, because outside of Blue looking just like the Grimace, this feels very much like Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, the Cartoon Network series made by the same guy who created Powerpuff Girls, Craig McCracken. So you've definitely seen this concept out there, especially if you're a Cartoon Network kid like I was. But again, at the end of the day, it made me feel happy. So I can get why this movie's getting mixed reviews, but at the end of the day, I think this is really good. It's not good enough to make my best of the year list. I mean, we're still a ways away from the end of the year, but good enough to where I think you should definitely check it out. And there you go, that's my review for If. I hope you enjoyed it, and now I want to know what you guys think about the movie. Whatever your opinions are, let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell button to get notifications. If you want to find me elsewhere on YouTube, you can check out my theme park and travel channel, Alexander Robinson Travel Channel, and follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Letterboxd, Threads. I'll see you guys in the next video, but until then, have a good day, and take care of yourselves.